land, we got all this stuff. So unions have served their purpose, we don't need them anymore. That is ridiculous. When you look at the very thing that Liberals are doing today, calling the legislature back early, talking about legislation that completely attacks the collective bargaining process in this province, with the teachers saying that we're going to legislate they don't get to strike for 2 years, we're going to legislate zeros, etc., when nobody's even talking about those things. And the interference from the government at that level is absolutely unacceptable. The federal government had back-to-work legislation tabled and ready for the Cup W workers at Canada Post before there was actually any full strike. And in fact, that legislation was written when the employer locked those workers out. The employer made that decision, not the workers. And yet the federal government comes in because they're absolute right-wing monsters and legislate those workers back to work when they had nothing to do with the actual lockout. These are the types of lies and untruths that we have to expose, and as Wendy said very perfectly, why isn't this room overflowing and completely taking this government and other governments to task? So I challenge you that while organized labor, and I want not everybody here is a labor person, a union person I should say, but when organized labor and unions speak to benefits, I've had the privilege of speaking up on workers' rights when it comes to health and safety. When organized labor does that and speaks for changes to legislation that improve things, whether it be the weekend, whether it be occupational health and safety, whether it be minimum wage, those minimum wage changes that happened in recent years that organized labor had the lead on benefited every single Ontario worker that it applied to. Not unionized workers only, but every Ontario worker, going from $8 to $10 and whatever it is now, $10.25. Let's take on the living wage fight next, because $10.25 is not nearly enough to survive on, by the way. So that is what organized labor does. It's what unions do, and that's what they're there for. I think in this time, we need unions more than anything. We need to increase union density, and we need to get out there and take these governments to task. I thank you for your time.